Sometimes when it comes to a home, what's even more impressive than the architecture is the human story behind it. That thing that makes everything possible. And this incredible treehouse cabin is a great example of just that. Hi Sharon, how are you?
Nice to meet you, Bryce.
So nice to meet you. G'day John, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. Good, Bryce. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's so good to be here, and oh my gosh, what a place you've created here.
Yeah, we find it awesome. I don't think we'll ever leave the mountain. They've taken me away in an ambulance a few times, but I keep coming back.
And I can certainly see why. Why go to heaven when you're already in heaven?
Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
It didn't feel like heaven at the time, let me tell you.
Oh, I can imagine. And obviously that is a huge part of your story and actually how you came to be here. Can you just share with me that journey?
Okay, Sharon gets a little emotion when we talk about the story because what happened to me was a ruptured aorta. So we had a 5-bedroom house because we got 5 children between us. During the global financial crisis, we
Made
had
really
a business
poor decisions.
and we tried to keep all of our money for the business Sharon had.
Right.
Well, we ended up going bankrupt and we had the land. It was full of trees and privet, but the banks didn't want it. They had to make money off it. So it was held for the 4 years we were in bankruptcy, but every year we had to get a valuation on it. And if it was what they wanted, they would have taken it. But they don't want to take something and not make any money, so it's useless.
Right.
So that's how that evolved. And because we had no money, we lived here on a caravan.
Like the worst thing that happened to us ended up being the best.
Yeah, we had great neighbours. They were friends. They ended up being, they are friends.
Yeah, gorgeous.
And they didn't mind us in the caravan. So that's how we built our little place at the front, stayed in a caravan here, and then this eventuated after I had the ruptured aorta. We worked for a shed company, and all the buildings are designed for class 1. Okay, so they might look like sheds or containers, but they're not.
I'm in love with containers, but I hate the measurements. So that's why we sort of made it look like that to satisfy my design aesthetic. Cabane was a bit different because we literally shoehorned it onto the worst area of the block. There was a lot of scaffolding and scary stuff going on. I mean, it took 18 months to build, but John literally could put one sheet on a weekend.
Yeah.
So he was struggling. And he kept going. Like, it was just amazing to watch.
So in a big way, building these homes was part of your rehabilitation after the heart attack.
I would probably say yes.
My kid just reminds me, my children who are adults, they said, you know, yeah, sure, Mum, you've saved his life 4 times. However, you've been trying to kill him ever since.
Yeah, so I'm not dead yet.
Nah.
You certainly are not. And that story is just remarkable to me. How fortunate that throughout that entire bankruptcy project, you were able to hang on to this treasure of a bit of land, because this place is so special. The views, wow, what a place. Just having that elevation and the vistas over the mountain immediately makes this place something very special.
It is amazing.
Yeah, everything we've done here, we've had to save up and do it.
Just do it bit by bit.
Bit by bit. Every time we had $1,000, we would do it.
Because the topography of this site must have made it quite challenging to build on. It's a very steep section. I mean, you can see you've got your goats roaming around the place. So when you say it's sort of like mountain goat country, it very much is that, isn't it?
Unwieldy, like a 45-degree angle. Like every time you wanted to plant something, the pot would go and the watering can would go all the way to the bottom of the block and get caught in the fence. Like, otherwise it'd be right down the mountain. So yeah, it was crazy. And the weather up here is crazy. There was been many nights where we thought we were going to die in the caravan, literally.
Up to
really
100-kilometre winds.
Yeah.
Well, views are spectacular, but views do also mean exposure to the elements, don't they?
That's right. But we never bailed. It was quite extraordinary. And that was the surviving of 10.5 years in that crazy little caravan.
I think something that's really beautiful about what you've done here as well is that as part of your financial recovery after the bankruptcy, part of what's made all of this viable is that you share the spaces as B&Bs. And so sharing the land and sharing in what you've created here has helped to make all of this possible for you.
Having the freedom to be able to do it for the B&Bs and to show people that you can live like this, tiny. And Sharon's a great host for all the people that come here. So It's great.
Well, I can already testify to that. And can you give me an overview of the different structures that you've built here on the land now?
The first one, it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, little tiny house, Jardin tiny house, and Sharon's named them all. And they're all French names. We have a French daughter-in-law. So Sharon's got the names through her French connections. Jardin is a garden or la garden or... I'm not French, so
It made sense to call the property Jardin because it was a garden forever. It wasn't a home. Well, we felt at home, but we were houseless.
Right.
So that's why we came up with Jardin. And then cabane is treehouse in French. So it was like treehouse, tiny treehouse. And then Belvedere, summer house, it means beautiful view from a terrace or balcony in French. Lovely. So... and that's true to it as well.
And the place that we're having a look at today is, of course, your lovely treehouse-inspired cabin. Talk to me about this and its design.
It is on a concrete slab. We were going to do footings, but it is on a concrete slab. It's just what I wanted on the side of the hill. Yeah. And sure, we got footings for the balcony. They're 1,800 deep.
Right. Wow, yeah.
And through the process, and Sharon wakes up in the middle of the night with all these ideas, she decided to flip the design of the house. So have bedroom, bathroom, robe downstairs. And then, as you'll get to see, with good reason and good choice that she did that, it would be spoilt just being in a bedroom.
Oh, I completely agree. And I love, as you say, the way that you have gone for this container aesthetic. Can you talk to me about the sort of design of these cabins and how you wanted them to sit amongst this landscape?
Well, I wanted the dark colour, the black or monument, just basically because it becomes a shadow. You know, they just disappear into the bush. So that's what I want. I didn't want them to be standing out. I didn't want them to be like loud. I just wanted them to be quiet and there and private.
You've got the best of both worlds here. You've got that wonderful kind of containery, monolithic, strong aesthetic, and yet at the same time, you've got all of the flexibility of being able to work within dimensions of your own choosing. The
dimensions were the footprint that we could get on this crazy little piece of land.
And so what is the size of this cabin?
So the exterior is 3.8 by 6, but it's, I think, 21.3 internally.
Right, metre squared?
Metre squared, yeah, up and down.
Great. Yeah. And you've built so many really wonderful outdoor areas as well, especially what you've done over there with the beautiful gazebo and the fire all set amongst the wonderful rainforest backdrop.
The gazebo started when we were in the caravan. That was the very first thing we built.
We designed the barley hut because we had in our previous house before here, we did have thatched barley hut roofs.
It's nice and cool in summer.
And so we did that and incorporated it, making it, you know, outdoor fire area.
Barbecue.
And it's against council land there and all the animals, you know, you get the turkeys, the wallabies, owls, all just sitting, you know, right next to you. So it's awesome.
Absolutely. One of the most amazing things about being in an environment like this is that connection to all of the wildlife, isn't it? Especially here in Australia where this place is so alive.
Yes.
Even those ones that you guys don't get. The slithery ones.
The old danger noodles.
Yes, that's the one.
Fortunately, we mainly just have pythons that come and visit. We take them away and we take them to Snake Lookout, which is on the way to Binnaburra.
Yeah, we were keeping the pythons out, but you can't keep them out. So now we don't worry. You just might go in there occasionally, and only summer. Every month you might find one that's had a couple of eggs and we just get it, you know, you take it away. I've done a few myself, but not when they're looking at me in a corner. I will get a person that's very good at snake catching.
Fair enough. There's always a time to call in the pros, isn't there?
That's right, absolutely. Yeah.
And I notice you've got solar panels and rainwater collection here as well?
Yes, we do. We don't have any links to any water up here on the mountain. It's just rainwater collected.
It all works, so it's great.
Fantastic. Well, already I just think what you've created here is so special, and I am so excited to see what the interior of this space looks like. Can we take a look?
Absolutely, Bryce. Welcome to Cabane Tiny Tree House.
Thank you very much. This is absolutely charming in here. What a beautiful, cozy space you've created.
Because it was a tree house, I tried to make the bedroom feel like you were under the tree in the trunk.
Yeah.
And then upstairs in the canopy. So that's what I was hoping to achieve. So thank you.
Yeah. And I love how you've carried the dark exterior colour into this space as well, but then you've also lifted it so much with all of these beautiful brighter elements.
Yeah, it was all part of that cosy feel and that sort of eclectic feel too. Being a tree house, I wanted to make it feel like you dragged it out of your mum's house when she wasn't looking and you decorated it like that, basically.
I love that. And you have absolutely nailed that vibe in here. I can really see that. One of the things that immediately I love about this room as well is, again, you do feel like you're out amongst in nature. You've got the dual entrances. Through both, you have these wonderful pops of greenery. And then, of course, the connection to the outdoor living space and the deck out there as well.
Yeah, it was making the most of the light too. And also extending the space, making you feel like it was a lot bigger, sort of tricking the eye more than anything. And I think it's worked, and I'm glad that you've enjoyed being there and seeing it for yourselves too. Yeah.
And down here you've got the bathroom as well, which is so beautifully done. The tile work in there is exquisite.
Thank you, that's great. A little hard work again, but, learning to be a tiler along the way wasn't that easy, but I think we pulled it off.
Yeah, you certainly did.
Because we were in the van for so long, we didn't have our own belongings, but I wanted it to feel too like things were handed down to us in generations, or we were well travelled, which we aren't, and we put things together. Everything was done secondhand and from thrift shops and marketplace and things like that, and I think it works.
It certainly does. That beautiful orange vanity just adds such a pop of life in that room.
Yeah, the orange right through the house, it reflects the sunset, so that's where that came from.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, if we're in the trunk of the tree right now, I cannot wait to get into the canopy. Should we have a look upstairs?
Absolutely, Bryce.
All right.
Let's go.
Oh, that is magnificent. The way that feature window just completely dominates this space is incredible.
Yeah, the windows were a big part of it, really. That's the reason why we're here, is to be able to see that view. It really opens up and makes you feel like you're in the treetops.
Yeah. I've come to understand something about myself, and that is that I can have an appreciation for all different kinds of homes and architecture, but I think what I need more than anything else in life is a view.
You've got it here.
I certainly do.
Things just change up here all the time with different seasons again, as I've said, and it's great.
We're very fortunate the way the house actually is that the Milky Way runs right through the middle of that window.
Oh, wow.
And most of our guests say they see at least 3 shooting stars a night. Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
And being up here now, I have such a sense of appreciation for what you were talking about when you said you made an upside down tiny house. It would have been such a mistake to put the bedroom upstairs, because really that incredible view can only be truly appreciated from the living space where you spend most of your time.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bit of a big discussion to do it, but I was adamant that we had to do it.
Yeah, what can I say? Sharon made the right choice.
Yeah. And you've created such a cozy, comfortable looking lounge space to take it all in.
Yeah, the day bed is just extraordinary, just being able to lie there and just with a cup of tea or a glass of wine or whatever and just soak it in. And we're very fortunate to be here and to be able to enjoy it.
And again, it's lovely to see these beautiful pops of orange up here, which do so much just to uplift the space and make it feel a lot more vibrant.
Yeah, the orange was a bit of a surprise for me because orange wasn't always my favourite colour, but it just works up here with the sky at night and the sunrise. So the sunset and the sunrise comes from every single window. So it doesn't matter where you are, you're experiencing what nature is, and the orange reflects those sky hues really. And it's just been the perfect balance.
Absolutely. It's quite unusual what you've done up here as well, because this is a shed style construction. So you've got the steel framing and you've kept the steel trusses exposed up here, which I just think adds such a cool look to the place. It gives it a real industrial vibe.
Yeah, it was really interesting because our previous house, Jardine, was 3 metres high, and John, being a plasterer, said, well, that's not happening again. And I just smiled because I knew I was going to expose the trusses and get that height still. And I think it's really important if you build a small house just to really have tall walls, really. So it was quite industrial. John goes, these are going to look terrible. We're not doing that. And as soon as we painted them, he loved them, and that all quietened down. And then our electrician said, let's light them up, Sharon. So we lit them up so we can see. At night, it's extraordinary, the ambient light. Yeah, it's cool.
It turned out great. It really did. I probably keep saying, I didn't want to do that. But, as I said, Sharon wakes up in the middle of the night with ideas, and most of them, or all of them, have worked. And painting them black, we got the same as the walls with the windows. So we're not prominently looking, I feel, at anything except for outside. And if you don't notice the trusses initially, I think that's what you really wanted to do, is draw yourself to look at the windows and the views first and foremost.
Yeah. So the idea is come up, enjoy the view, and when the sun sets and it's dark outside, then appreciate the architecture.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted.
And again, up here, it's lovely to have another balcony space where you can go out onto and enjoy the views from the outdoors.
Yes, absolutely. It was really important to make sure it felt great in winter and cosy and warm because we're on the mountain, but also be able to get out there and watch that sunset. Stunning.
We do have the opening doors that are bifold doors that open completely up, and we also have the bifold window in the kitchen. And during summer, walking out onto the balcony, we look straight west to the sunset.
Beautiful. And immediately up here as well, I really notice all of this beautiful stone tile work. This looks really nice.
Yeah, John, labour of love for John, wasn't it? Silver travertine French style.
Yeah, the French pattern took a little bit of, learning how to do and looking back at a diagram all the time. But no, we got away with it. And then Sharon decided to do the bench tops the same, not in a French pattern, but in the travertine, as you can see.
Yeah.
So many coats of sealer on top of them because we're doing meals, etc. They're porous, but I think I put 5 or 6 layers of sealer on them. So
wow,
they're quite easy to clean, actually.
Yeah, very nice. And the design of this kitchen is really nice as well. It looks very full-featured and super functional.
Well, we both are cooks. We're not chefs, but we love cooking. And it's one thing we do enjoy doing together, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
So all our houses, and particularly being in the caravan for so long, where you were in your own way all the time, we wanted to have a full kitchen no matter what. So that's why we've got big appliances and 2 sinks and all that kind of thing.
I miss living here.
Yeah, yeah. But it's lovely the guests get to enjoy it, so that's the best bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And that rainforest window there just adds such a pop of character to the kitchen, doesn't it?
It was a late inclusion just to bring the rainforest in, and also we keep an eye on the chooks down there as well. So
nice.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
So this treehouse cabin, right now it's a B&B, but you lived here for 4 years. Tell me what that was like.
We only did the internal stairs when we'd left. Before then, we, in all sorts of shape and wind and rain and all sorts, we had to use the spiral staircase outside, and that's why we sort of Mary Poppins'd it and got our neighbour to weld a big giant umbrella over the top, just so when the rain was falling straight down, we could get in and out.
Right.
Yeah. I think Sharon called the day bed. It was more like a night bed for us because many times, as we were saying, we would lie out on the couch, fall asleep. It was amazing to be up here, wake up to this instead of, downstairs is great, but it's a little different up here. So we did spend a lot of time here. That's what I miss about it, because it's quiet here.
Very private.
And we got enough room to cook in the kitchen and use the cabana. So, look, we miss all those things. It was amazing.
It's no small thing to share your home with guests and open up your place as a B&B. What's your experience of hosting people here been like?
I think it's been amazing because Sharon, and she'll talk about it probably, is great at hosting people. And we meet so many different people. Because we're a little bit different and we welcome people, people really look after our space.
Yeah.
And that is the thing that we've experienced. We just don't let people come into the property, open with a key, leave with a key. We introduce them, and we do find that all of our guests are super respectful.
We've never had really a bad guest. It's been really amazing. This property means freedom to me. When we went bankrupt, we were in a place of being reactionary, not watching what we're doing first and then acting upon it. Everything was in reaction and we were reacting too slowly. This property has given us those options. We have a successful business now on our property. We get to meet amazing people all the time, and they've had their own journeys. We have some people that are passing away and just want to build a relationship with their family before that happens. We have, newborns. We watch children grow, like they keep coming back, and it's very exciting to be part of that kind of family and have that interaction with people.
I feel it means to me that I have accomplished probably more than I thought I could at that stage of my life and after my health issues, and us staying true to each other through it. It means just about everything to me. This place it's great.
This is a very unique structure that you've built here on an excessively difficult site. Can we talk about the cost that was involved in realising this cabin?
Yes, it cost $129,000, but that didn't include our labour and the time that it took.
Yeah, absolutely. We did keep the prices down due to using myself as labour, family and friends to help construct this. Sure, you still had to pay, the proper trades as electrical, plumbers, as per requirements from council. So I think we've pulled it off for the amount that we did. I think it's been great.
One thing that I really love about your story is that in many ways it's testament to the power of time and what you can achieve if you just chip away at something bit by bit and over time what that can grow into.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, sure, I've had open heart surgery. Time does heal that as well.
Yeah.
I was asked when I was doing rehab to talk to other people that had had the same operation because they were dwelling in the past, looked at all videos, etc., of what happened to them, and depression was setting in even at an early stage to a lot of these people. I wasn't one that was like that. It was hard, it was difficult, it was awful, but time heals, and it's made this process worthwhile, really.
To be able to look back at something when it was probably one of the worst times of your life and to actually have this come out of it as an achievement, I think my husband is remarkable, really.
I think there is no question about it that especially when you think of all of the adversity that you've had to push through, the bankruptcy, the heart surgery, all of that, what you have created here is just a testament to sheer willpower and desire to make something beautiful work. And what you have created here really is remarkable. Thank you so much for sharing it with me.
Thank you, Bryce.
Thank you, Bryce.
My pleasure to be here. Everything that John and Sharon have created here is testament to pure strength of character and a desire to push through the hard things that life can throw us. And everything that they've accomplished here is testament to just what you can achieve if you are willing to push through life's challenges and just keep on going. It's the compounding interest of time and action, and the result completely speaks for itself.